All right, we have some clips here, and this is not about bitterness. This is about how women want it all. They want traditional men, but they don't want to be traditional. They want to bash men, but they don't want men to say anything back to them. They don't want to take any accountability. And men are finally waking up. Men can see that loyalty, sacrifice, and doing everything right does not guarantee peace, respect, or appreciation.
Men are finally waking up. They are starting to see that being loyal, giving, and doing everything right does not mean that you will be appreciated. Too many good men have been bruised by women that only saw them as a wallet, a handyman, or an emotional punching bag. Those same men are now choosing themselves. They are choosing peace as well over pressure of the world that they have to be a husband and a father. They're literally protecting their hearts. And that's not because they don't love women. They are tired of being drained by the wrong women. If women do not see that y'all are paying attention to exactly who some of us are, and some of us are just not for the right thing. They are falling to societal pressures, their little circle that's around them, their mothers, their aunties, their sisters, their friends. They want them to be the leaders in the relationship, and that's just not how it works in this world. What we say doesn't go all the time. When you're in a relationship, you have to work together as two, not as one, that is being put on this pedestal that they have to get everything done for them and men have to do what women are saying. It does not work like that. Pretty doesn't work anymore. It's not about what we look like. It's about how we treat men and how they feel. And when the man knows his worth, he's not going to stay for no drama. The new standards are for women is that you have to bring peace. You have to pour back into him. It's about a woman that understands that love isn't about taking. It's about building with that man and not trying to build on him. I truly believe that the era of good men is not ended, but good men have woken up and they understand their worth.
A woman will swear that that man went and downgraded because he went and got a woman that is not as attractive as she is. Let me tell you something. It's things out here these days that's way more attractive than beauty. It's peace. Peace. Man will leave that beautiful woman with a nasty attitude right at home to go lay up with a woman that brings him peace and balance. Oh, and who listens. They actually do talk. You actually have to listen.
See, once a man understands his value, he stops begging for love and starts requiring peace. That shift scares a lot of women because now they know he sees through the game, because they know he sees their game clearly.
So I just spoke with a young man, right? And the mentality of this new generation is pretty interesting, and I'll tell you why. The new generation, they're understanding that it takes teamwork to make the dream work, right? So this young man told me, he said he's not gonna compete, right? He's not gonna compete to try to pay somebody's bills. Meaning, some of these women on the internet think that all I gotta do is look good, don't have no personality, can't cook, can't do nothing, can't do nothing, and don't want to do nothing, right? And some man, because they're pretty, is going to compete to pay their bills. This young man said the new generation is not with that no more. If they want companionship, you know what they said they're going to do? They'll buy a dog. Life is too expensive right now, and that people are waking up, and that thought that I can just, the men are going to compete for the pretty woman so she can sit at home to pay her bills, and she can sit at home and do nothing. No, those days are over. Deuces.
To see that men are finally waking up, all right? I'm not in support of either gender hating on each other. I'm in support of both genders understanding each other. And with understanding each other, it's important for men to understand that women are not these angelic creatures that we were told they were, that they were painted out to be by society, okay? We have to understand that, these divorce rates are real. These custody exchanges getting violent is real. Cohabitation situations can get legally bloody fast. Okay, we have to understand that, people are getting divorced and losing everything when they try to have in-home cat, all right? And it's just wicked out here, man. The wicked rule the world. And good people are getting destroyed out here, man. Like, so we can't act like this stuff isn't happening. And that's why I'm glad that men are waking up to seeing the reality and not living in this fantasy bullshit.
See, this is what it looks like when you cut off their fantasy and stop paying the bills. That's why I like these younger men. They're looking at the market, they're looking at the cost, they're looking at the risk, and saying no deal. This is not hate, it's all about math.
Oh, what? Why are you slamming things? I'm just talking to Kevin.
It's 11:30 p.m. Kevin has a girlfriend. Why is he texting another man's woman in bed?
Oh my god, here we go. He is platonic. We've been friends since college.
Men don't have a platonic female friend they text at midnight. We have women we are waiting to sleep with.
Dang, you are so disgusting. Not every guy is a predator like you. He's like a brother to me.
A brother? If you called him right now and said, come over, I'm lonely, would he come over to talk or to smack?
I wouldn't do that. That's not the point. The point is you don't trust me.
I trust you. I don't trust the orbiter who is hovering around waiting for our relationship to fail.
So I can't have male friends? That is toxic and controlling. You are insecure.
Secure men don't tolerate disrespect. Keeping a backup option on your phone is disrespect.
Well, I'm not cutting him off. He's my support system.
Great. Then let him support you. Because I'm not competing for a position I already earned.
Where are you going? It's midnight. You're leaving over a text?
I'm leaving because you enjoy the attention of other men, and I don't share.
Call Kevin. Tell him he's up. The spot is open.
Are you serious right now? He's just my friend Cole. You're being ridiculous.
A woman with many male friends is a woman with many backup plans. I'm not plan A. I'm the only plan.
This message is for the men that fall in love with women because they have a big behind, nice shape. She know how to keep her hair up. She dress nice. She does all of this type of stuff. It's okay to want a well-groomed woman. But if you have kids with another woman and she has her own kids and you guys get married and build a household together and she's complaining about how your ex keep your daughter appearance up, and if she's not helping you to maintain that little girl or that little boy to have him looking like she has her kids looking, and your money is the one helping that household grow. The house that you're living in, that's where you're putting all your money. It's nothing wrong with her. I don't care how much child support you pay because you don't know how much this woman over here bills are. You don't know how much she get paid on her check, especially if she have a low-level job. And you sit up and listen to this woman tell you how your child is looking and how their hair not never done. And if she really loved you, she would take that little girl with her when she take her little girl and get her hair done just like, she's getting her girl hair done. Ain't no way in hell a man should sit up and let a woman talk about his kids and how they're being maintained and she's not doing anything to help. It don't make sense how y'all fall in love with these women because of their outside appearance. And that heart is like dirt. No soul. But you guys are so in love with whatever taking place in that bedroom or whatever she's looking like. But you better remember, at the end of the day, you better worry about what that heart looks like.
And what that heart looks like doesn't matter either, because how she feels today, she can change her mind or change her heart.
The best moment in a man's life is when he finally realizes that his happiness does not depend on anybody else. Every man has a breaking point, and it's the moment his entire life shifts for the better. Not because he stops loving his family, not because he becomes selfish, but because he finally wakes up. Most men tie their identity to being needed, but that pressure destroys them silently. A good man spends years carrying everybody else, his kids, his partner, his parents, but the same man often forgets the only person he can't replace, himself. And then life hits him hard, a betrayal, the loss of a child, a divorce, bankruptcy, a collapse that shakes his entire sense of worth. But then something clicks. The question changes. It stops being, what do I need to do for everybody else? And it becomes, what am I doing for myself? That is the moment a man stops surviving and starts rebuilding. He invests in himself, his health, his future, his mission, his mind, and his peace. because now he understands the truth that most men never get to learn. If his happiness depends on anybody else, he's fragile. If that person leaves or if the job disappears, his entire world falls with it. But once he chooses himself, he becomes unshakable. So if you see a man suddenly focusing on his goals, his routine, and his purpose, don't panic. He's not pulling away from you. He's pulling himself out of the life he built on fear. He's no longer with somebody because he needs them. He is with somebody because he chooses to be with them, because he's finally building a happiness that comes from within. There's a big difference between a man who needs a woman and a man who chooses to be with one. One is dependency, the other is power. When a man learns how to create his own peace, his own stability, his own identity, he brings a love that is grounded, steady, and intentional. A love that is not born from fear or losing somebody, but from strength and knowing exactly who he is without them. And that's when a man becomes dangerous in the best possible way, because he finally knows his own worth. Be dangerous.
Your men are starting to wake up and realize that they deserve better for themselves, they deserve happiness, and they deserve to have standards and boundaries too without being bashed by the opposite gender. They are waking up, and a lot of y'all don't know how to sit with it. A lot of y'all don't like it. You say you want a good man, but you know what comes with a good man? Boundaries, standards, discipline, a man that's going to challenge you. But the issue is a lot of y'all don't want opposition. You don't like it because it makes you uncomfortable. It disrupts your sense of normalcy. You're not used to a man telling you to level up. You're not used to a man correcting you or giving you some type of constructive criticism so that you can better yourself. You want a man that's going to be a pushover, a man that you can easily manipulate to your convenience. You want to live the soft life, the life of leisure, to which you don't have to do anything. You don't have to grow because everything is just thrown at you. And secure, grown men are waking up and realizing it's not going to work like this. No, this ain't going to fly. The men that y'all so badly wanted to grow up, they grown up, and y'all better be ready for it. Y'all better be ready to level up, because they out here. Look within yourself and really ask yourself, is this what I really want in a man? Am I ready for this? And if not, Lord, prepare me so that I can receive this, because maybe I don't know what I'm asking for.
He said men are waking up and women are losing their level.
The system that is designed and thrives off of division, off of female-led households and communities, knowing that female emotions can be manipulated and utilized for advertisers to the way in which they do, knowing that women are much more susceptible not only to propaganda, but also to what Helen Andrews discussed in terms of the dynamics, even in the workplace and in certain environments. They are more susceptible to giving in to social pressure. So if you can empower the women and condition them and control them, you can dictate society. So when women's tricks, schemes, and the law, it's starting to not be as effective anymore because men are moving different. They're not putting themselves, not all of them are putting themselves in the legal obligations that the law can have access to them. A lot of men are slowing down. More women, black women, are having children than men. Many of the black men are starting to date out. They're going to still do life with women, but they just might not get married. Men are now adjusting to the market. So as a result, the leverage that was artificially created for women is now dissipating.
And see, there it is. Men are waking up, not because they dislike women, but because they finally understand the cost of staying asleep. They are choosing peace over pressure, standards over struggle, and clarity over confusion. And once a man reaches that point, he is not easy to be played with anymore. And that's it for this video. Stay woke when it comes to these women.